Have you ever heard of the greenhouse effect? What is it? How does it work? And why is it important? In this video, we're going to answer those questions.
Hi everyone. Today we're going to do a really cool science experiment that shows how a gas called carbon dioxide can make things hotter. To set up, we're going to fill both of our mason jars, about 4 ounces of water. I'm going to take my two volunteers, Sally and Susie. They're my friends. We place them in our jars. Thank you. Let's label them. So we have Sally, Susie. I'm going to put a star next to Susie because Susie's the one that we're adding extra CO2 to. Okay, so right now we have two jars with the same amount of CO2 in them. How do we add extra CO2 to one? We can do that by adding an Alka-Seltzer tablet. So to Susie, we're going to add an Alka-Seltzer tablet so it increases the carbon dioxide in her jar. But we have to trap them first. So we're going to trap Sally and Susie with our plastic wrap. So let's put our plastic wrap on. With no added CO2, we're going to add carbon dioxide to Susie. So ready? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So for Susie,
Susie has some extra CO2 on her planet. Just a little more.
yes. Okay, cool. So here's how the experiment works. We're going to take both Sally with normal CO2 and Susie with extra CO2, and we're going to put them under the sun or our heat lamp. I'm going to leave them under the heat lamp for an hour, and when we come back, we'll check the temperature of both, and we'll see if the added carbon dioxide made Susie's jar hotter than Sally's. So let's turn on our lamp. Let's set our timer, and we'll be back in an hour to see what happened. Right, our timer went off. It has been 1 hour. Let's turn off our heat lamp and let's check our results. Okay, so I have taken the lid off of both Sally and Susie. Let's check the temperature on both. So Sally comes in at 75.8.
Sally is coming in at 75.8.
Now, what about Susie? Susie, drumroll please. Susie comes in at 79.1. So 79.1. So what's the difference in temperature? Anybody a math wizard? I think that is a 3.3 degree jump. A 3.3 Fahrenheit jump in 1 hour. Why? What's happening that's making Susie's jar hotter than Sally's?
How does the greenhouse effect work? Here's our model. So our heat lamp sends heat down into the jar. The heat enters the jar, reflects off the surface, and bounces back up through the top of the jar. Now what if we add a CO2 molecule here? If we add carbon dioxide, as the heat enters the jar, it reflects off the water. It bounces back into the carbon dioxide. Some of it gets absorbed, and some of it goes back down. You can imagine if there's more carbon dioxide in here, how the heat would enter and then have a harder time escaping. And the same is true with our planet. So here's our Earth, and here's the sun. The sun sends heat onto the planet. Some of it reflects and escapes back into space. But as we just mentioned, if we have an excess amount of carbon dioxide or other greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, as the heat enters the atmosphere, it reflects and some of it will escape. But as the heat comes from the sun and enters our atmosphere and hits carbon dioxide, it gets sent back down or gets absorbed by the carbon dioxide. And the more this happens, the more we create a blanket around our planet, creating a warmer planet.
That's the end of our greenhouse effect demo. I hope this video was useful, and I'll see you next time. Bye!